We are down here at the fort site filming an episode of Building a Fort in the Woods, and I want to show you how to cut wooden stakes. So depending on what you're using the stakes for will determine the size. I'm using them for like the back, I guess the front too, the back and front of a lumber rack so the large logs don't roll off the back of it. So I want something pretty sturdy. If you're doing like tent stakes or something like that, you're gonna want something smaller. So I'm actually gonna start by just cutting it in half, as close to half as I can determine, which I think would be about there just by looking at it. So I'm just gonna cut this in half real quick and then I'll show you how to sharpen it. When I'm cutting, I like laying it down on a stump or a log like this just to get it off the ground a little bit, give it a solid backing. If you're cutting up against the ground, it kind of squishes around and you can hit rocks underneath it, all that sort of thing. So I like cutting on a piece of wood. Okay, so while I was doing that, you saw me kind of rolling the log around. The reason I was doing that, you want the end that is not going to be sharpened as flat as possible because these are stakes. You're gonna be hammering them down once they're done. So I kind of rotate it around, and it's not as easy as just cutting down a tree or something where you really want a sharp angle. I kind of modify it and spin it around to end up with a nice flat surface as much as possible. If you have something like a survival saw, something where you can actually just do a straight cut, that makes that a lot easier, but you're not always gonna have that, and I don't have it right now. I just have my machete here, so, but let's move on to how to actually cut the stake, the sharp end. All right, so I am going to sharpen the smaller end because the smaller end will go in to the ground easier, and the top will give me a better surface to hammer onto. So when you're sharpening it, same thing as when we were cutting it in half, you want to lift it up on something. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of chop a side off and spin it around, chop another side off, and just kind of cut a square and then just kind of go from there. All right, so that is pretty much it. Like I said, very easy. So now I'm just gonna do a second one, and we'll have our lumber rack pretty much done. So yeah, super easy to do. You can use these for a ton of different stuff. I guess you could make kind of a makeshift spear out of a smaller stick if you wanted to. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Watch some more videos. Maybe enjoy us building. Why are you doing that to me? Maybe, I don't know, watch us building this fort. It's starting to come along. Well, sort of, not really. We're making progress.